So originally wasn't gonna talk about this subject at all. I've been seeing it on Facebook. I went online and I saw a few news things about it. Didn't really care much about it. If you don't know about Amanda Todd, which would be very odd, is a teenage girl who committed suicide from bullying. Um, this video is probably gonna be a little bit insensitive to her. I'm not gonna be putting her down or anything. It's just the fact that if you don't know much about her, she was on a. She made it seem like she was just on a regular chat site, and a guy were randomly calling her beautiful and all this stuff, and convinced her to flash. Um, from what the news had said, she wasn't on a okay website for people her age, an adult site, and did it that way. So, firstly, she's not as innocent on that aspect, and from what I've seen from everywhere, really, is she had sex while dating someone, and the school found out about it, and people started bullying her, and people knew about her doing things on cam more than one time, and she said it was with random men, yet it was in her school, but she played the innocent card. Common sense would tell you if you're webcamming with people on a website sexually and it gets in your school, either you told a friend about it and they went telling people, or you told more than just close friends that you would keep to yourself. And secondly, if you're going to do something like that, you don't tell anyone anyways. And if you're going to brag about it, well, maybe not necessarily brag about it, but if you're going to be talking about it and advertising it to people, you should expect to be bullied. So that part of it is her fault. Firstly, it's her parenting's fault. Parents should be way more aware of what's going on in their child's life at this age. And I'm not saying, you know, not have internet or constantly monitor, but you should know when your daughter is doing, or even a son even, is doing something completely inappropriate like that. I mean, so it's her fault for being bullied because you don't advertise it, and it's her parents' fault for not monitoring that. Because at her age, she should be monitored well enough to not even be anywhere near those kind of sites. Um, so bad parenting on that part. So what brought me to making this video is causes and petitions to arrest her cyberbullies. Um, what I don't like about that is you don't see anything about that with anyone else. Um, you see all these things about, oh my God, she was such an innocent person, she was so perfect. Um, what about kids that actually don't do anything, that don't do anything sexual, don't do anything bad, that are just bullied because either they're overweight, they don't look good, they're poor, or racially discriminated against, or various other reasons that don't do anything wrong, they get bullied to the point where they commit suicide. When this girl had basically put it out to people that got around to her school, which basically caused her own bullying. Um, she was sexual. Um, she did show off her body with no self-respect. Um, maybe she didn't deserve to die, but if you're gonna do stuff like that, you should expect to be bullied. And people that are acting like she's so innocent, obviously she's not that innocent. Um, people saying, well, at this young age, she must have been maybe her dad sexually abused her for sexual stuff being brought to her. Um, have you not seen TV lately? You can't turn on any kind of show nowadays without seeing at least some sort of sexual activity going on. I mean, you can barely watch crap. Example, cousin was over the other day, or yesterday, I should say. Um, and I was in here on laptop, chilling. She watched this vampire thing on CW or whatever, same channel that Supernatural comes on, and it was really sexual, and that's what? That's like basic freaking cable and had some sexual on there. Sexual things being brought up on Fox now. All these shows basically are being like, it's okay to influence people with putting sexual type stuff on basically every channel just about. So maybe she thought sexual things was cool. Maybe she wasn't sexually abused by her parent. Maybe she saw stuff on TV so much about sex, sex, sex that, hey, they basically advertise teen parenting, teen mom, all that crap that goes on, all these shows that deal with like teen pregnancies and teen sex and everything else. I mean, there's basically websites saying, hey, it's okay to have sex, just do safe. They don't tell you, hey, safe sex isn't always safe. They don't say the best safe sex is no sex. They say it's okay to have sex just as long as it's safe sex. Morals these days are so screwed up, they don't think about the morals of what's going on in the world that could be corrupting her. They think maybe it's her parents, maybe it's an inside thing. And it's like they're trying to make this girl look so innocent, it's almost ridiculous and kind of pathetic to other people to basically put out these accusations that maybe she's just this perfect little angel. Let's do all these things to make sure she gets justice, where unlike other people that die a lot of teen suicide from bullying all over the world, and people that are truly innocent that have nothing negative to go against them except what bullies are saying about the people. This girl has actually done things that people are saying. It's not that she was being bullied, it's the fact that she was being dealt with reality on a constant basis. If you're going to act whorish, you can't be offended when someone calls you that. That may sound a little harsh, but if you're going to show your tits on everywhere on chat sites and have sex to where people will be aware of it afterwards, I mean, you can't really be offended when people call you out on that. I'm not saying she was a whore, I'm just saying if you see people at an older age doing that, that's a whorish act. But because she's so young, people try to defend her, and for me, I don't look at her age, I look at the act and the amount of times the act happened. And it's just kind of pathetic. There was a suicide by bullying in my state, and on my friends lists of people on Facebook, I was the only one to have liked it, and I asked my friends on Facebook if they had heard of this person in our own state, and they said no. And I asked if they knew about Amanda Todd, and oh my sweet Jesus, they were like, oh my God, that's the saddest thing I ever heard. And I asked him about this other girl who was very religious. She was in athletics, big help to her community, helped with what was it? Special needs kids. She was bullied and everything else. She didn't commit suicide. This girl was really bullied in school, but the community loved her, and she was killed. And I go on to a kind of memorial page for her, and this poor girl who doesn't even have 10,000 likes on the memorial page, which I know that may not necessarily matter, but compared to Amanda Todd, who has like a bajillion freaking people, I know that's an exaggeration, but so many people liking her page, saying, "Oh my God, rest in peace. You're not going to be hurt anymore." This girl, um, Amanda Todd's well more known. This other girl's not. I'm not going to say this girl's name because there's a lot of trollers and there's a lot of people that are already going to add more to that page that isn't going to be added there. This girl was had so many negative comments after she died. People calling her racial slurs, calling her a slut, calling her all these things. And it just proves my point that this world is morally screwed up. They're kind of idolizing a girl who had no self-respect for herself, who did these things. And you can't say she didn't because she kind of did admit it, but she tried to make herself sound innocent. But if you read the little cards, it doesn't make sense. Oh, I randomly showed my boobs to some man because he asked me to, because he gave me compliments and he found my Facebook magically. Do you know how many people are on the internet going to these chat sites because they have no life and they have sexual perversions and sexually screwed up in the head that they go to find women on cam that are like that do that? And you're gonna tell me that they somehow freaking found you? I'm sorry, but common sense and yeah, common sense tells you otherwise, and if you're going to say no, then you really need to stop thinking about how innocent she is and just think of a different person, think of a different storyline, and if you still don't see it, then that shows that you're just really ignorant. Common sense tells you otherwise. Um, so yeah, this is not to beat the girl down, but I mean, you can't, again, if you see a cop walking down the street and, you know, in July, and you go say, "Oh, hey, cop, I have an emergency," and the person says, "Oh, sorry, this is just a costume." I mean, it's basically the same thing. I mean, if you're going to wear the costume, you're going to have to act the part. I mean, you can't pretend to be innocent and do all these things. And when you do all these things and they come out, you can't act all innocent and be like, "Oh, I've been so bullied for no reason," when there is a reason. And again, I mean, if anyone's doing crap like this and you're doing things wrong and you're telling people about it, it's kind of your own fault. I mean, if you're doing bad things, and this may not necessarily be a like pep talk, but don't tell people if you're going to decide to do something stupid, because it's just going to get out and then it's going to be your own fault. I mean, you can't do things, put it out where public can get it, and then be shocked when you get blasted by it. It's just reality. People are going to take that and tear you apart by it, and whose fault is it that you ran your trap and people know about it in your community or school or other things? So, yeah. That's really just about it. I don't, this country in general so morally screwed up to idolize a person and say there's nothing wrong with this person and she's so perfect, and then on people who truly are innocent that have been pushed beyond the edge, that had to commit suicide because they felt like they had no purpose in the world, and they go and blast people like that, yet again hold this girl on cloud nine. And it's really a shame. I really thought humanity, um, morals would be better than this. Uh, not, I don't want people to think that these are religious morals. I'm talking about just morals of the good of the people, so to speak. Uh, that's it for now, guys. For those that watched this kind of ridiculously long video, I hope you enjoyed. Comment if you want to. I really don't care about this on this video. There's going to be a lot of ignorant people that are going to defend her. I can understand defending her to a certain aspect on the fact that she didn't deserve to die. However, if you're going to make people sign a petition to arrest these people, then you have a long list of innocent people that you need to do that. Because the only reason this girl's getting exploited this much is the fact that people are drawn to the fact that it's had that much sexual effect into it. And that's the only reason. No one cares about this girl. They only cared about the sexual fact about it, which makes it so much more intense. So thank you guys for watching. Check out for my next videos for my subscribers. And yeah, thanks for watching.